Welcome to the ZimmCast, a program dedicated to bringing you what's new in agricultural marketing. The ZimmCast is the official podcast of AgWired and hosted by Chuck and Cindy Zimmerman.
Hello and welcome to the ZimmCast. I'm Chuck Zimmerman. I started in a career of agricultural communications back in 1983, and it's amazing how much has changed. Technology's played a major role, and that includes the ability today to easily communicate about agriculture everywhere in the world. And having said this, I'm going to have a conversation with Dr. Owen Roberts. He's a good friend, and we first met being involved at events at the International Federation of Agricultural Journalists. He's also involved with a new initiative at the University of Illinois' College of Agriculture, and that's the subject of this podcast episode. So, Owen, it's great to talk with you.
It's always great to get together with an old friend. Thanks, Chuck.
For people who don't know you, let's start by telling us what you do at the university.
Yeah, I'm in charge of the Agricultural Communications program here at the university. We've been rebuilding it over the last few years, adding some new courses and listening to what industry has said that graduates really need. So we build a curriculum around that with courses such as social media management and international agricultural communications, some critical thinking courses, one environmental communication course. So that's what we're doing. That's what's keeping me busy these days. We've got 40 undergraduates now. We're very happy about that. Still like to grow the program, but we're interested in really making the program solid. Feel pretty good about it right now, making it a real solid undergraduate and graduate program, and that's what I'm up to.
Well, I know that's going to keep you busy for a while. I know that the plans are for a global center for food and agricultural communications, and it's named after another good friend of mine, and that's Dr. James Evans. This does sound like a big project. What is it all about?
Well, it's all about training and research. That's really what the crux of it is. We feel like, and I think most people in agriculture and food would agree, that there's a pretty big gap between agriculture and consumers. In some cases, made worse by social media. In other cases, made better because there's some opportunities as a result of social media to communicate better. But nobody's really put their finger on it yet. And that's really what we want to help do. We want to help close that gap by training people to be the best communicators they can to help agriculture be better understood in urban audiences, but also help farmers and agriculture have a better handle on what consumers really need to hear and how they need to hear it. We know there are buzzwords and that type of thing, but it's funny, the whole idea about social media. It lets us go deeper in some respects because we've got, we have access to blogs and podcasts and all kinds of things that we never used to. So I think it's maybe a bit of a catch-up for agriculture and food to catch up with consumers' concerns because so much has changed just over the last little while. In agriculture, you can kind of see it coming for a while. But with COVID and with all the global upheaval that there's been, food insecurity, all those issues that just kind of hit everybody between the eyes and made consumers so much more interested in where food comes from. So we think there's an opportunity to have a training center that can help the industry communicate better, not advocate, but communicate better. I think advocacy will come on its own because if people are better informed about where food comes from, there'll be less confusion about food and there'll just be a better understanding by consumers, but also by policymakers and those who are influencing what farmers, kind of that whole social agenda about what farmers can do and hopefully create well-informed legislation and well-informed purchasing practices by consumers that is based on balanced information.
So what are the goals you have? I mean, you're just getting started, I know that, but, like saying, looking out maybe in a year or more, What are some of the goals that you want to hit as you get this center underway?
I guess the big goal, there's a couple of them. We think the center will have a really good connection with students. We want students to be involved. Here we are at a university. I mean, what an incredible resource we have. Students who are interested in learning. Could there be a better opportunity for a center to find people to be involved? So we think it's going to be a great opportunity for students to be involved in projects that we will find through our own means, but also projects that others would come to us with for training, perhaps, for professional development, for skill development. And this is really where I hope we have a suite, an SUITE, suite of available opportunities for students, but also for folks not from the university who might want to get training in how to do something, how to do a certain skill better, like multimedia development or something along those lines. But also our research has told us that people are interested, and this would be agricultural communicators, because these are who we asked. People are interested in courses so these would be online courses that people could take in topics such as critical thinking, which is certainly topical given the amount of misinformation that's out there. Global awareness, and that's one of the pillars of our program is global awareness. Skill development, as I mentioned, but leadership training was also a big thing that people had said to us that they would really like some more training in. So I would hope one of the first deliverables that we will have from the center, and I don't know exactly when that'll be because it does depend it depends significantly on us having the total funding package that we need, which is $5 million to have a center at the University of Illinois. $5 million is required for longevity purposes and for staffing or whatever else you might need it for. But the whole idea is to have some type of online certificate program in which people could enroll, and there would be modules based on what the needs are that we're finding out now. And people can take those online and develop the skills. That's really going to be what I believe will be our first deliverable.
So when will the center be open for business, and what needs to be done in order to get it off the ground?
Well, we hope it'll formally be open for business in 2 years. We have to raise $5 million. We had a really good start from an alumnus who wanted to remain anonymous, but said, I really believe this is important. I believe the training aspect is really important and the research aspect. So we need the fundraising people are in full gear, and I'm hoping we can raise this full $5 million in 2 years. Some people say 3 years. I'm hoping 2 years. But meanwhile, we're not going to wait. We're not going to wait.
We got to be optimistic,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to do things like we just talked about. We're going to develop this certificate program. We're going to look for partners to do projects. We've got so many of the foundational aspects that we need now through the undergrad program that we've developing. We've got, as I mentioned, we've got this social media course. We've got a critical thinking course. We've got advanced ag composition courses. We've got, in these, we teach podcasting, we teach photography, we teach ethics. So we have a lot of the foundational material that we need to develop some of these external offerings. So that's what we're going to get busy doing now.
If somebody wants to contribute at this point, what would they need to do in order to help fund the project?
I'd be glad to talk with them just to see what their interests are. So they can contact me at oroberts@illinois.edu. And if they want to learn more about the center and the center plans, there's a website. Can I give you that?
Yes, absolutely.
The website is Evans, as in Jim Evans, evans.aces, which is the name of the college, evans.aces.edu. www.ag.illinois.edu.
I think we can get there, and we'll put a link into the post we put on AgWired when we publish this, so we'll have it there as well. Yeah,
appreciate that.
So before we close, is there anything else that you'd like to add about this initiative that we didn't touch on?
I think we've covered the main points, but I guess the point I really want to get across is that we want to do what the ag and food sector thinks needs to be done. We recognize Illinois is a powerhouse when it comes to agriculture. We also recognize that the U.S. is a powerhouse when it comes to agriculture, major exporting country into a lot of other countries that we've come to know through the organization that you mentioned before, the International Federation of Ag Journalists. We know that the needs are global. We know that people, because of exports, because of trade, they want to know about production practices in other countries. And it's the same everywhere. Everyone is, I guess it's a good and bad thing. Everyone's faced with the challenges of trying to communicate balanced food and agriculture messages globally. But everyone has an opportunity now as well, if even just using some of the existing technologies, and who knows what else is going to come along. But it's that hunger from the public that it's important to take advantage of that right now, and that's why we're very enthused about getting the center up and running now.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Owen, for talking to me about this new initiative at the University of Illinois. We'll keep our eye on that and hope everything goes well.
Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, Chuck. And as time goes on, I hope we talk again before 2 years to say, hey, we thought we were going to do this in 2 years. We're doing it in less. Maybe and the fundraising people, like I said, they're all fired up. They really believe in this. The fundraising folks are within the college, and they understand agriculture and food priorities. So thanks for the opportunity to speak about it.
Well, that is the ZimmCast for this week. I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for listening.
You've been listening to the ZimmCast, the official podcast of AgWired. Check us out at www.agwired.com to find out what's new in agricultural marketing.